Our next speaker is Swami Brahmabhutananda, and he's going to be talking to us about Bhagavad Gita in daily life. Swamiji was among the students who were the first batch in the residential Vedanta course at Anaikatti in Coimbatore. And he's a student of Puja Swami Dayanand Saraswati ji. He's been teaching Vedanta and Bhagavad Gita and also participates in Bhashya Parayanam and talks all over India. Before he became Swamiji, he was on the information superhighway. He was an IT professional. He was an IT management consultant. He's an engineer from Mumbai, and then did his PGDM from Bajaj, and then decided that he is going to join Swamiji and become a sannyasi. He's going to talk to us about how Bhagavad Gita can be useful in our daily life. But as tradition will have it, like we normally do, we'd like to invite Swami Brahmabhutananda with the traditional Purna Kumbha.
त्यागे नैके अमृतत्वमानशुः परेण नाकन्निहितं गुहायां विभ्राजते यद्यतयो विशन्ति वेदान्तविज्ञानसुनिश्चितार्थाः सन्न्यासयोगात् यतयः शुद्धसत्त्वा आहा ते ब्रह्मलोकेषु परान्तकाले परामृतात् परिमुच्यन्ति सर्वे दह्रं विपापं परमेष्मभूते यत्पुण्डरीकं पुरमध्यसद्गुस्थं तत्रापि दह्रं गगनं विशोकस्तस्मिन् यदन्तस्तदुपासितव्यं यो वेदादौ स्वरः प्रोक्तो वेदान्ते च प्रतिष्ठितः तस्य प्रकृतिलीनस्य यः परः स महेश्वरः ओम शांति शांति शांति।
ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनश्यन्वन्नोतिभिः ॐ महागणपतये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। My dear Guru Bhais and Guru Bhagini, I thank you for this opportunity to be a part of this program and put across whatever we have learned from our Gurudev, Swami Dayanand Maharaj, and thereby try to satisfy the jignasa of all those who have come here. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a privilege to talk to an audience who in some way is trying to find a balance in their life. Work and life, they can't be two separate things. Life is a journey, and work is part of it. But whether that work is for one's personal upkeep or it is a means to a dedicated life to a higher goal, that is mukti. That life is a burden, work is a burden, is the problem. And Vedanta, especially Bhagavad Gita, at the practical level, it answers the questions and gives an insight into the way you take your life as a goal, as a means to a goal. And the goal of each and every individual who has come in this life as a human being, and human birth being very invaluable, the basic quest is not money, status, etc. What everybody wants is fulfillment, contentment. The means may be different. The levels are different. But the ultimate level, nobody can skip, whether it be in one birth or it may mean many, many births. For what we really are seeking is that happiness which lasts and lasts forever. Time comes and goes, but this happiness is you. And when this happiness is you, your very nature, your very innate nature, obviously you will be made to achieve it. I'm using the word achieve it because that will give you a satisfaction. However, if you see, every night when all of us go to sleep, we experience happiness. If I may use the word ananda, this ananda does not come by way of fulfillment of desires, but it is the very unfoldment of your very being, that is you, or what we call I. This is a sample that Bhagavan gives for you to taste and yearn for. Therefore, you cannot separate work or life from this goal of every human birth, to know what you are, and therefore be able to overcome all the obstacles, whether it be in work or in any other secular life, as you may call it. Overcoming these is building up a personality, not what we think of by personality development, etc., but embellishing yourself by way of adhikartvam to be able to come to that level and be able to face the situations in life irrespective of what they are, and therefore when you achieve it, like when you go to sleep after a day's work, you make your bed and see that everything is fine, because it's like an expedition that you are going to, trying to see that everything is working out well, to be able to enjoy that which is your Swarupa. By Swarupa we mean what your innate nature is. Now, how do we do it? Bhagavad Gita in daily life, going one step forward, Bhagavad Gita is teaching as a way of life. Arjuna is a representative of we people. The first chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, titled Despondency of Arjuna. Is it only Arjuna's despondency? Vishada. In fact, if you have to talk on chapter 1 of Bhagavad Gita, we'll see there's nothing to talk about. But in fact, the prelude to that is that all those Maharathis, Bhishma, Drona, Karna, all of them, they were all in despair. Why? The situation was such that all of them felt, what should I be doing and what should I do? Bhishma, who has got Ichha Mrityu, and yet he feels he is tired, so also Dronacharya. Duryodhana himself, though whatever side of Duryodhana we see, these are all characters, if you can say in today's life, present in us when we face daily situations. There is one very striking thing that is talked about in Bhagavad Gita, is dharma. What is dharma? If you just take it as karma, then you will see that at every given point of time when there is a situation that we face, what karma I should be doing. That means, what do I need to do? I need to make a decision to do this or that. But every decision that we take, what is the purpose? To get what? That is very essential. Bhishma Pratigna, when he took a vow of celibacy, there was a loud thunder, Bhishma Pratigna, Bhishma Pratigna. Whatever situations Bhishma faced was because of one promise that he made, that I will be faithful to the throne. Which means he will be faithful to every decision taken by the person sitting on the throne. Right or wrong. And that was the thing which always bound Bhishma. He should have thought that I will take a decision whether it is as per dharma or against dharma. I am taking the example of Bhishma because in every way he was par excellence. So much so that Krishna at the end comes where Bhishma is lying and he says, I want the world to know what Bhishma is. Still the stars and moons are there, sun is there. People should remember who Bhishma is. Bhishma says, I am lying on this bed of arrows. What pain I am undergoing, I know. And then Krishna, you are asking me to give Upadesha to Yudhishthira. I don't have the strength to do it. He says, I am here. You need not worry. What did Krishna mean that time? He said, when I am there, you don't need to worry. And Bhishma gives Vishnu Sahasranama at that point of time. And he asks a question to Krishna. But why should I be suffering so much? Krishna said, you sided with adharma. Period. Karna's chariot is caught in the mud. Arjuna is about to shoot him with the arrows. Karna says, hey, wait. I am not armed. Krishna says, Arjuna, kill him. But I am not armed. He says, you are armed, but you are disarmed. So kill him. But that is against dharma. What did you do? Just a few days back, when Abhimanyu was there, and you 6 people targeted that one small young boy. You were against dharma, and now you are talking about dharma, killing. Dronacharya, Acharya. And still, he was also one of them who sided with the plan. In short, dharma and adharma, there is a very, very thin line of difference. And that thin line is because the situations, the kala, the time is different. What is taken to be dharma, what is taken to be adharma. And therefore people say sometimes that Krishna did not follow dharma. That's not correct. Yada idai dharmasya glani bhavati bharata. When that dharma comes down, that time the Lord takes birth. So even Krishna Avtara has come to establish dharma. To be able to understand Bhagavad Gita, one needs to read the full Bhagavad Gita right till the end, understand it from a guru. Moha was the problem of Arjuna, and at the end, 18th chapter, Bhagavan asked Arjuna, did you understand? So, Bhagavan Shri Krishna also had a desire that my Upadesha, Arjuna should understand. And he is asking for the result. So he also wanted the result. Karmani vadikaraste ma phaleshu. That ma phaleshu does not mean that don't aspire for the fruits. But whatever comes by way of the fruits of your karma, receive it because it comes from the Lord as a prasaada. And the Lord cannot be wrong. Lord is not a human. Lord is a principle. And that principle cannot go wrong. So when he said, Nashto mohaha smritir labdha tvat prasadat mayachyuta gataha sandeha karishye vachanam tava. So now Arjuna does not need to think what I should do, what I should not. He only needs to know one thing, that the thing should be as per dharma, and this war was a war for dharma. And whatever situation presents there to him, using his sense under the situation, he goes by it. But he has an advantage of Krishna being there. Yet, it is only Krishna who keeps on maneuvering everything. Arjuna doesn't know. He is carried away. But when he said, Shishyasteham shadimam tvam prapannam, I am your disciple and I surrender, his surrender was not total. That's why he asked him, why this ghora? And when you say pravrutti marga, nivrutti marga, what is it that you are seeking? If you are seeking position, money, wealth, okay, go by it. But stick to dharma. If by sticking to dharma and you still have desire for all these things, go ahead and do it. And the Vedas does prescribe such karma also. But ultimately, you are bound to understand that everything that I get is going to be limited. We start with small things, cycle, motorcycle, car, everything, position. But then, are you really fully filled? Do you get contentment? Or one day you feel that you are bored with that also? At that point of time, then what will you try to seek? As I told you earlier, that sense of contentment and fulfillment is what each one wants, yet he doesn't know what is the right means to it. And therefore, after talking about what Atma is, we come to Karma Yoga. Samatvam iti yoga uchyate. What is this yoga? Samatvam. What is samatvam? Equanimity. Whatever be the situation, I should not lose my mental balance. And when can you be able to keep yourself in balance? Is when you have a strong backing. And what is the backing that you need? The Lord. Bhagavan says, Ma shuchaha. Don't worry, I am there. Just one fine day, I had a feeling. I used the wrong word. I said, if God is with me, who dare be against me? But that if shows that lack of Shraddha. So Arjuna had the Lord with him. He had nothing to fear. But still at the end, the last day when he won the war, and Krishna asked him, hey, get down. He says, why? All these days, you used to be getting down first, like a chauffeur, and then I used to follow. He said, hey, get on, get on. Why? I won the war. He said, first get down. And when he got down and Krishna came down, the whole chariot was on fire. So it was Krishna who guarded him. And the very fact that Arjuna, after the war, asked Krishna to again give him a discourse, he said, sorry, I'm not a tape recorder. But he gave Anu Gita to him. So even Arjuna, having the Lord with him, had still not grown up to that level of maturity. So growing up, getting rid, Sattva, Raja, Tama is our basic quality. The Tamas has got to be got over by Rajas, Rajas by Sattva, Sattva by Shuddha Sattva. That is the personality development. Where in the 13th chapter, Bhagavan comes and talks about the values in life. These are the values that we need to inculcate in our life. And if these values are there, dharma is present. And if you are with dharma, nobody can come against you. They dare not. Even if they do come, it will be easy walkover for you. Why? Because wherever dharma is there, it is said at the end. Wherever Arjuna and Krishna are there, and dharma is there, the person is fulfilled, contented. Therefore, if one follows the Gita capsule, karma to fulfill desires, go ahead, do it. But then when enough is enough when you say, then what? Then keep on doing what you need to do by way of life which it presents itself. And remember, the circumstances that come to us are nothing but the results of karmas that we have done in the past. Our past punya and papa. They present themselves as situations. And when you are able to handle and balance yourself in these situations, then backed by Shraddha, and then comes, Shraddha means acceptance until discovery, which gets converted into bhakti as and when whatever you thought is not happening and starts happening, then you start feeling yes. Everybody thinks of the Lord when the exam comes. And if you are not prepared, Bhagavan, only what I have studied, let questions come from that only. And the other boy is saying what I have studied, and both have studied differently. But when you have fully prepared, done your whole syllabus, then what do you say? Let anything come, I am prepared for everything. Why? You have brought yourself up to that level. Where you have put in your effort and you know that the law of karma or the law or dharma is definitely with you. That assurance is there. And therefore, whatever be the situation, you are prepared for it. See, in real life situations, I want a job, I also want to pay according to the work that I do, or even more. But when it comes to our regular life, do we ever think that way? Do we ever think that way? We ask for our rights, but do we do our duties? If we do our duties, the rights automatically come to us. Especially husband to the wife and wife to the husband, children. That becomes a way of life. And that is just what Gita is talking about. That if each person does what he's supposed to do, then there cannot be anything which is out of place. Every situation that comes is because somebody has done something incorrectly. At the first, we have done something incorrectly, and therefore, what happens? I have put in my best effort. But when it comes to getting the fruits, I either get it more, less, or different. How is it that affected? Because at that point of time, our punya, which gets fructified, comes and boosts this karma. Or papa comes and stands as an obstruction. And therefore, the fruit that we were expecting is different. Less, more, or totally different. So this law of karma works. And that is the way all situations in life are presented to us. And in these situations, if I accept the result coming from the Lord as prasaada buddhi, when you go and somebody in a temple offers prasad, we do not ask, rather we should not even ask, whether it is sweet, sour, pungent or what. We receive it as prasad. And the prasad is given, we receive it. If that is the way we receive the results of our karma, then will there be any adverse reaction from our side? Should there be? No. Yoga karmasu kaushalam. What is that kaushalam? What is the kushalta in doing a karma? What is the kushalta in the karma? That the karma and the result should not be binding. How will it not be binding? If I have done the karma and I say Krishna Arpanavastu, same karma I have done, I have not put in anything from my end to say I want this. Therefore, where there is Krishna Ichha, and because of Krishna Ichha and Krishna Krupa, whatever comes to me, I very well cherish it and accept it. Will there be any disturbance in our temperament? No. I have understood it very well. And I have no choice of my own that I want this or that, because I am convinced beyond doubt that I am getting what I deserve. And if I am convinced that I am getting what I deserve, then there is no need for me to be perturbed in any way. And slowly, as the things that I've been chasing goes on decreasing, because I find fulfillment in myself itself. Therefore, my pravrutti towards action to gain pleasure or otherwise reduces. And I take situations as they come. In that case, there are no reactions. For generally, we don't act, we react. And that reaction is because our personality, what we are made of. And if by the process of sadhana, sadhan, we say sadhana, but it is actually a sadhan, the instrument. This instrument of mind, the thinking mind, the will, etc., etc., if I have aligned it with dharma, then there is nothing that I do which will hurt anybody or hurt any situation. And if that is the case, then I am not adding on to my karmas, because I say, Lord, whatever I am doing now, I am doing it as an offering into your feet. At that time, that I which we are talking about dissolves, and when it dissolves and resolves into the Param Tattva, then I as a person does not remain. And when I as a person does not remain, because there is no choice. See, all the time the problem comes when there are many choices and you are not able to decide which of them. I have made a choice. Dharma is my choice. And when dharma is my choice, I go as per dharma. And dharma is known from Shastra. And Shastra is expounded by the Guru. And a Guru is a one who himself has known, and he is a living example in front of me. And when I try to emulate him at each stage, then my job becomes simpler. It's not that I do what he does, but I have an understanding of measuring the situation and working as per that. So, Karma Yoga is when samatvam, that means one is not perturbed. Difficult situations come, but when you analyze it and say, Lord, I think this is the way, however, I seek your guidance. And I assure you, if the antakarana is shuddha, by way of karma yoga, your own desires sublimate. Because the highest desire that we have is for liberation. Liberation from what? From the state of ignorance. Who am I? What am I? So when you are seeking something higher, please tell me if it's time for question and answers, okay? How much time do you have? 5 minutes, okay. So when my desire is for a higher objective, the lower objectives themselves dissolve. And Bhagavan says, Me bhakta na pranashyati. When somebody is taken to me, I will not leave him. And Bhagavan also says, Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam vraja. That ekam means Lord, dharma, embodiment of dharma. And when he says, if you have taken to me, I will take care of everything. And if that is the promise that he has given, why do we need to worry? Like a small child in the arms of the mother does not bother. You throw him up in the sky also, he giggles because he's sure he'll be caught safely. So if that way you take to the Lord as a mother, Bhagavan says, Yoga Kshemam Vahami Aham. All your needs I will take care of. You need not worry. Now what do we need to do in life? Roti, kapda, makan is too very small. And that you know, Bhagavan, even to Kuchela, he got in abundance. He never asked for it. So in this way, if we are able to take our life day by day, introspecting on what my objectives are. When you talk about retirement in the worldly life, it's giving up a job and saying, from tomorrow I don't have anything to do. But yet out of habit, next day he finds there is a vacuum in his life. Abhi ghar mein baith ke kya karne ka? One needs to plan. Though you are working, that work as an offering unto the Lord is what is karma yoga. And then if it is karma yoga, whatever comes is accepted at prasaada. And every prasaada, if it is welcome, then you know that there is no chance of you creating more and more karmas for you to take another birth. This way a person matures into thinking. And then you find that such a person in every life situation is calm and composed. If you use the word compromise in today's language, the meaning is something different. But when you compromise in a daily life situation, at that point of time, if you have the guts to compromise, you'll find that at a later time, your mind is more at peace. Adjustment and acceptance. If you are able to adjust and accept that situation for that timing, time comes and goes, that situation also will go away. And if that way we keep on leading our life, living our life, that life is worth living. Because ultimately, you will find that you are at peace with yourself. Otherwise, people themselves are in pieces. And this way, over a period of time, you yourself will find that you are very much contented. And that contentment is only thing that we are seeking in life. Can anybody say that no, I have something else in mind? Is it not that we are seeking that ultimate happiness which should be with us all the time? I want to be happy and happy forever. That is the goal of life. Yes, some would have made up their minds towards that end. Some don't even know that's the end. But on ultimate analysis, everybody is seeking that. And therefore, everybody at the end of the day, whatever it be, prepares the bed and says, now I'm going to have a good sleep. And therefore, the next morning, having enjoyed that ananda, you don't even want to get up. All the questions that anybody can have, Bhagavad Gita has the answer. But you need to find out for yourself, work it out for yourself. I, on my part, I'm saying this because I've understood, and I had a lot of people who are accepting this fact and their life has changed. Hari Om. I pray to the Lord that this way of life of Bhagavan Shri Krishna comes in all of us. With all praise to God and Gurudev, I pray for Hari Om.
Thank you so much, Brahmabhutananda ji. Very nice the way you unfolded the Bhagavad Gita for us and the key aspects of it and how it affects our daily life and how we should lead our lives. Questions? Any questions? Please put up your hand, the mic will reach you. Please state your name and ask the question.
Yeah, my name is Srinivas. Thank you very much, Swamiji. I just have a very basic question. In day-to-day life, many times we may do things unintentionally and some things intentionally. What does the law of karma have to say? For example, while walking, we may trample on some insect unintentionally. And sometimes we may intentionally kill a dengue mosquito. So, what does the law of karma say? Am I acquiring bad karma in both these cases? Thank you.
You know that killing is wrong. If somebody had to do it to you, would you accept it? Simple. Then I should not do it. Now, as you say, intentionally and unintentionally. Unintentionally it is being done, you are not aware. Okay? Yet we say, Kayana vacha manasendriyeva buddhyatmana prakriti sabha. We are asking for pardon. Everybody in the night, at least for 5 minutes, look at your whole day and say, Bhagavan, if I have by any way transgressed in any way, I ask for pardon. And when sincerely we ask for pardon, then the effect is there. Then you become more conscious and therefore you will not repeat it. Have I answered your question?
Next.
Have I answered your question?
The intentionally he has killed.
Please tell me, how do you know it is a dengue mosquito? Yes, please.
My name is M.L. Kantarao. My question is, how do you draw the line between contentment and ambition? Because if you are contented, you cannot be ambitious. If you are ambitious, you can't be contented.
Anguish is because the situation is uncomfortable for you. You have
Ambition.
ambition.
Ambition and contentment. Ambition and contentment. How do you draw the line?
Okay. Ambition is where you want to get something which is uncertain. You may or you may not. You keep on putting your efforts towards that. But ultimately, when your ambition is fulfilled, you get contentment, is it not? Does it last? That means it is not contentment. Contentment is one which is inner satisfying. Yes, you got your ambition, you are satisfied. But there is a bigger ambition. And the contentment is when you yourself, in yourself, feel fulfilled. And that's why you will find that when you are happy without reason, what is that feeling? Is it the same when the ambition is fulfilled? Just check out.
Lots of questions. There's one here.
My name is Mehul. Does the Bhagavad Gita give guidance on the responsibility of parents towards their children, and how much time and energy do we actually devote, and are we actually doing something constructive by spending so much time?
Manusmriti gives all the lists of rights and duties for all aspects of life. Bhagavad Gita specifically does not say that. But overall it has spread out the whole thing where there is all the karmas which are specified, what needs to be done, what does not need to be done. It is not very specific about this or that. It is a bigger canvas.
So can you elaborate then with your experience and wisdom, this specific point?
That's what I'm saying. In Manusmriti, if you go through Manusmriti, their parents' duties towards children, children's duties towards parents, all this is listed out. Please go through it.
He's given you homework. Do some work instead of getting answers all the time here.
Hari Om, my name is Sneha and I have a question. For me personally, contentment and karma yoga conflict. Conflict as in like, if I try to be content, then I don't do justice to karma yoga because somewhere I become selfish. If I'm doing karma yoga, I sometimes am disappointed that I'm not doing something for myself and I'm not happy.
Karma yoga means yoga buddhya karma kuru. Yoga buddhi samatvam buddhi. When you say samatvam means in equality in between. Okay? So there is no rag and dvesha. Follow it? So the first thing is when you say I am doing karma yoga, there has got to be that sense that I am doing this karma as an offering. It leads to antakarana shuddhi over a period of time. What is the antakarana shuddhi? That whenever such selfish things, etc., ideas come up in our mind, those are taken care of, they are nullified. That's why it becomes the means to gain of knowledge. To gain knowledge, one needs to have a Shuddha Antakarana.
नमस्कार स्वामी जी, मेरा फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन से रिलेटेड है कि अगर
आपका नाम बताएंगे?
मीनल गांधी। कोई गीता में परमात्मा ने भी कहा है कि आतताई को मारना चाहिए। तो अगर आपको मस्कीटो बाइट कर रहा है, एक बार किया, 2 बार किया, 3 बार किया, फिर कितने बार आपको उसको छोड़ोगे?
अच्छा, आप मुझे ये कहिए, आप एक माता है क्या?
माता।
आपका बच्चा कभी भी आपको तकलीफ देता है, कितनी बार उसको मारती हो?
नहीं स्वामी जी, लेकिन कृष्ण परमात्मा ने भी फिर तो अर्जुन को बोला था कि आप अभी युद्ध करो।
इतना ही नहीं, उसने कहा करना तू आतताई है, इसलिए अर्जुन मार उसको।
हाँ वही तो।
हाँ तो वही तो। लेकिन मच्छर जो है वो मच्छर का स्वभाव है, हाँ, मच्छर का स्वभाव है, जो भी प्राणी है वो हिंसक होते हैं, वो उनके खाने के लिए ही हिंसा करते हैं, वो उनका स्वभाव है, ठीक है, वो उनको ऐसा स्वभाव मिला हुआ है, ठीक है। लेकिन हमको भगवान ने बुद्धि दी है इस भेद को जानने के लिए। आप दूसरे उपाय कर सकते हैं मस्कीटो के लिए, लेकिन जब आप उसकी हिंसा करते जानते हुए तब आप ये कर्म में बनते हो।
नहीं, लेकिन स्वामी जी फिर गुड नाइट लगाए तो भी वो तो हिंसा ही हो जाए।
नहीं होता है तो कहते हैं तपस्या, हाँ, उसको सहन कर लो, उसके साथ एक मैत्री अगर कर दोगे ना तो आपके ऊपर वो बैठेगा तो भी काटेगा नहीं।
आजकल के मच्छर ऐसे नहीं होंगे।
ये आप प्रिजम्पशन कर रहे हो। जब एक सिंह भी होता है, एंड्रोक्लस की बात आपको पता होगा ना, हाँ, वो कैसे वो शेर था तो भी उसको पता था। कुत्ता ले लीजिए, कुत्ता कितनी वफादारी करता है। इसलिए ये सब सिचुएशन जो है उसको समझदारी से सुलझाना पड़ता है।
Any other questions which doesn't involve a mosquito?
Hello. Namaste Swamiji. My name is Reema and I have a question which firstly I want to clearly understand, is dharma purpose? I mean, in English, if I want to understand it easily, does dharma mean the purpose of doing something? And the second add-on question to this was that in Gita also, Krishna made Arjun fight with his own family for a certain purpose. And similarly, if there are personal situation in life where you have to, for a certain purpose, go against or kind of fight with your own family members, is that correct?
Krishna did not make Arjun fight. First thing. Krishna only told him, hey, for 13 years you have worked for this battle. Arjuna's work is gone and got astras, shastras from all different people. And he underwent everything for this day to get back the kingdom. Then why did Arjuna say, Abhi mujhe ladna nahi hai? If Krishna would have said, okay, don't fight, aapko bhiksha charyan karna hai na. But then do you think that Arjuna would be just sitting? He would even go and with his sword cut the tree, because that was all swelled up in him. So that is why Krishna said that you are talking on both sides. When it becomes inconvenient, you are trying to take a different route. That's why Bhagavan said that this is dharma yuddha. And as a king, whether you like it or not for your personal needs, you have to protect your country. That's your duty. Today, how many of us as Indians, I can put this question straight to all of us, whenever there is a situation, are we prepared to risk our life? And wherever there is something wrong going, do we take the side of the person who's right? We very conveniently will walk away. And then expect that others, when I am in that situation, others come and help me. Is it not?
Right.
So then we have to introspect.
So again to the question, if it's a purpose that I feel truly for myself and I have to fight a family member for it,
Yes.
I should stick to it.
Yes. And I tell you one thing, once you take to it, your conviction in yourself will be of such an extent, you leave everything and straight away take to this path.
Take to?
Take to this path of wanting to know the truth.
Yeah.
That conviction which one person gets by such deeds,
Yeah.
it takes them through everything.
So my understanding when I've gone to the path is violent. I mean, the fight does not need to be violent. It can be in a different way.
See, a lot of situations come in life. One is to decide for themselves what is more of importance to me.
Right.
And let us not keep our goal just to worldly things, but the ultimate
goal is important.
Goal of life.
And the dharma and purpose, is it clearly meaning of dharma as purpose?
Yes, goal.
Goal, purpose. Thank you so much.
That's why this is a moksha shastra. Gita is a moksha shastra. Oh.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the discussion. We have to wait there for 1 more minute.